Hello guys, welcome back to BlueTube on YouTube, where today we will be previewing Blues game against Mansfield Town, which is at 12:30 on Saturday because it's on Sky. But even so, we should be still taking our full capacity of fans away, which is 1,698, I believe.
Ooh.
And it's the One Call Stadium in Mansfield. Now, Mansfield are doing quite well at the moment. Let's get this bit out of the way, the Mansfield bit. They're run by, they're managed by Nigel Clough, who made a good name for himself. Sort of more lower league manager, but he was a great player, from what I remember. He was a good midfielder. But legendary Brian Clough was his dad, who's no longer with us. Who actually died quite young. But yeah, getting on to Mansfield, they've had a good run since they got promoted. They finished third in League Two last season, behind Stockport and Wrexham. So it was the top three that went up, wasn't it, last year? And they're continuing that fine.
What, was it not a playoff?
No.
Did they win the playoff?
Yeah, there was playoffs, but first, second, and third went up.
Ah, right, I see.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think they're just one loss in the last six, I believe it is. When Blues beat Bolton last night, they were at Wigan, beating them. They didn't have great possession, but they just
Found a way to win.
Shut the back door and scored two good goals. They don't have a lot of possession in their games, from what I've seen, but sort of grind results out, and they score some good goals. Just going to mention a couple of their players to get them out of the way. Their top scorer is a 36-year-old Lee Gregory, who's played for such clubs as Millwall, Stoke and Sheffield Wednesday in the past, but he's on six goals in 10 games. So
interesting.
Fair, really. Another one to watch out for in midfield is an Irish midfielder, another 30-odd-year-old, I think he's 34, I haven't written this down, but Steve McLaughlin.
Yep.
Come across him?
Not down the shops or anything like that. But.
So he's got a few assists apparently and good pass rate.
Yeah.
So,
well, we've got a Watter, so... Okay, so we are... How many points separate us to them? 5-point gap, isn't it?
They're also on 11 games played, which there's a few of them now. It's only Wrexham in sort of the top four, really, that's played the 12 games. Blues and Mansfield have played 11. They're on 23. In their last... let me just go through the last 5 games. In fact, let's go through the last 6 games, including last night. So they got... their form is win, 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 1 loss, and then last night they won. So it's really good. It's the third best in the in League One as it stands at the moment. Like I say, they're grinding things out, but I don't want to harp on, like I say, too much about them. Let's talk Blues.
No, I mean, let's give them their flowers. They're doing very, very well.
No.
Nigel Clough, must be the Clough name, mustn't it?
Nigel is totally different to his dad. His dad, Brian, was, as a lot of Blues fans will remember from back in the day, was very eccentric. I think bordering on balmy. But he was a very good manager. He could get absolutely anything out of anyone, take any player. And if you remember, well, a lot of Blues fans remember, I was a bit young to be fair, although I was still around. I started supporting just after Trevor Francis left Blues. For 1 penny, apparently, under £1 million was the story, because Brian Clough
refused to pay £1 million.
Didn't want to pay £1 million. Yeah, that's... I haven't actually seen that written, but that's what I was told as a kid, that he refused to pay £1 million for a player. But he's still known as the first £1 million player, old Trevor Francis.
Quite fascinating. Good knowledge.
Yeah.
Good knowledge.
Well, if it's true, it's good.
Well, never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Absolutely. So yeah, here's a little stat for you then. According to the BBC, so it can't be too bad, will it? This will be just the 5th league meeting between Blues and Mansfield.
Yeah, you found that hard to believe,
Yeah, I did, to be fair. It just feels like even I can... Well, you think you can remember more games in the past, like when we was in the lower league.
You think because it's such a low number, surely we've met more often. But there you go.
But it says with the Blues losing just one of those matches, 1-2, drawn 1.
Interesting.
And the last meeting, it was saying, was a 0-0 back in April 91.
Wow.
We weren't born then. I wish.
No.
So
No, yeah, you weren't born then. And you was like, how old would you have been then?
19.
Right, I wouldn't have even been born, would have been 9 years off. And then there's people in the comments thinking that we're brothers. Tell you what, do all of this. Get all this editing that I'm having to do. I mean, that'll age me for one. I don't know how to take that. Saw a comment the other day, love your channel, subscribe. And I'm like, oh, what a nice guy. Who are you guys? Brothers? Brothers? Fuming.
As I said, made my week.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, anyway, moving on. Let's just talk about
What,
the
bro?
football. Yeah, all right.
Come on, bro. Let's do it, bro. Come on.
Jesus.
Is he the older brother as well?
Let's just talk about the football. So,
Moving
yeah,
on.
top of the table. I think it's just in our blood as Blues fans to always be wary, whoever we're facing, really. And we've got to give these guys their props. But Bolton were coming into the game against us with a good vein of form. We should be confident, shouldn't we?
I don't want to be one of them that's like that overconfident that we
Yeah.
can just go through the season saying it doesn't matter who we're playing, because I think we've still got to be wary. And Charlton is the classic example of that.
Go on, say your favourite word.
What?
Turn.
Bananas.
That's it, yeah.
Do you know, I haven't said that for a while, has it? This could be the I'm not going to say it because every game is. As soon as you become complacent, every game is. And I don't think Chris Davis is letting our boys become complacent. If you look at him in his pre-match interviews, he's like bigging up the other team, whether that's just out of respect, whether that's just keeping everybody with the feet on the ground. Fair play to him. And I think that's a good way to approach these matches, to be totally honest with you. Just treat
yeah,
everyone with
totally
the respect
agree.
that they probably deserve.
Yeah, so want to go into the lineup a little bit? I don't think we'll go into well, I'll tell you what would we change from the lineup, if anything?
Well, I'll tell you what we can say is that it still looks like Bielik's out. So I think Ben Davies keeps his place. I don't think...
Hansen as well.
Yeah, Hansen.
Spoke about in the Bolton post-match.
Now, I wouldn't be disappointed, but I'd be wary if Hansen did start, especially after what he said like the other night where he was like...
I think we
worried
can
about
say
it.
for certain, based on what Hansen
Yeah.
said to us himself, he's going to be out for a little bit now, isn't he? So
Yeah.
who gets the shout there? Do we shuffle it around a bit to where we perhaps have Stansfield playing in the 10 role, Alfie May up front, Williamson on the right-hand side, and maybe Keshi on the left? Or what do we do?
We brought Leonard on, didn't we, the other night?
Yeah,
he
exactly.
He went centre with Williamson on the
Right-hand side. Yeah, and Keshi on the left.
Keisha
yeah.
Anderson on the left. That's what I'd start with. And bring Yokoyama
Yeah,
on.
but that
in the
means you're
second half.
leaving either Jay Stansfield or Alfie May on the bench.
How fit are they? Well, I mean, May's fit, but it's one of those.
It does. It really
It is.
You know,
But
it's
they're all
really
playing-
difficult.
I mean, Anderson is on fire. I didn't think he had it in him, but and again, like I said, like I've said a couple of times now, and I hate repeating myself, but I really thought that he was all bit of skill, runs at him,
I do have to
loses
say
focus.
I do agree.
But his focus is there now.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, he
penalty
switched it on.
the other night, 2 goals the game before, fantastic.
Yeah.
So
It's really
he'd
tough.
be a starter for me at the moment.
Yeah, and with Scott Wright, we don't know how far he is off.
I've not heard.
No, I haven't heard either. There's nothing really out and about it at the time of
I
recording.
think it's only
anyway.
a knock. If he's fit, does he go back in or does he start on the bench? What would you do?
Do you know what I'll do if Hansen is out? I don't feel as though you can leave out Jay Stansfield and Alfie May. Alfie May hasn't scored. Okay, he hasn't scored for a bit, and he's gone off of his vein of form ever since Jay Stansfield has come into the club. That's true. Although he has scored since Jay's been here, he hasn't been the same player. However, I don't think you can leave him out of the squad because of what else he offers off the ball. His work rate is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's always in and thereabouts when we score a goal, whether he's assisting or he's a vital part of the play. For a Watters goal, he swung it in, got headed out, a Watter there on the volley. He's involved. So having said that, Alfie May and Jay for me have to be in there. I'd still have Alfie May as the 9. I'd bring Jay Stansfield back as the 10. And it's just who we put on either side of Jay Stansfield for me that's the question.
My way of thinking would be, if you haven't got Wright and you want Williamson in the middle, you could play Stansfield.
On the right-hand side, you can swap them. They're interchangeable,
He
aren't
plays on the left as well if you wanted Anderson on the right. Oh, it's so nice to have these problems.
they? Yeah.
It's so
For
great.
me, it's a toss-up at the moment between Anderson and Yokoyama, because I really
I like
think he's excellent when he comes on, but at the same time I'm leaning towards starting Anderson, because having a guy like that as an impact player to come on and terrify the defence with the way that he drives at them, unbelievable. And I wouldn't, Pake's. I said that it might have been a good idea to rest Pake because of the travelling and whatnot, but considering the way that he played yesterday against Bolton and the partnership with Iwata, they are our two best players. And yeah,
You think of these fringe players we got to come through as well. When if things do go bad, I've mentioned disciplinary if we ever get bans and things like that. I mean, I don't know how people think about it, but I've mentioned him before. This Brandon Keeler, this.
Yeah.
Him coming through, he's really starting to show quality, good signs. So you think, and with what's going on with these young players coming through, what's going on around the club at the moment, that positivity on and off the pitch, just training alongside those, getting games every now and then. I mean, he's been coming on. He came on in midfield the other week, didn't he? In one of the
Do you
night games,
think
played well.
You've just made me think. We've got that young lad from Fulham on loan, Luke Harris. Do you ever think
Yeah.
we'll even see him come back into the squad? I mean, he's on loan. He's not, he's not one of our own that we have to look after. We have to
In the
nurture.
games that he has played, he was
He's been
superb.
brilliant.
That one goal that we scored,
Against Wickham, yeah.
God, he's
Yeah,
he's
there
got
and
an attack in
thereabouts.
him, hasn't he?
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
only a kid. I mean,
Right place, right
but
time.
we have the depth. So
But I can't see him ever working his way back into the squad, is what I'm saying. I don't know if we afford him.
you just don't know what's around the corner, though, do you? The problem is you might get
True.
that, like that injury, touch wood again. But that's why we got such good depth, and that's why it's good to bring these players and give them that little taster a bit as well. I think you'll probably see him. I mean, you think Duke is on not even on the bench sometimes, and some of the balls that we're playing in, he'd love to get on the end of some of them, because we're getting these crosses in now.
That chat that we had with Duke for a short while, he's trying.
Last night.
He's always ready for.
He's such a top man, Duke is.
For his chance.
That tangent again, but he is, isn't he? And you asked him a question yesterday, and it wasn't just like sometimes like you'll meet a player and but how's this? What you really are genuinely, and like sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, sound yeah.
And he gave a really in-depth answer. Just to let
what
you
did you ask
guys.
him? Can you remember?
Yeah. I basically wanted to know, because Duke is one of our longest-serving players now, isn't he?
He's a club ambassador now, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been there for a fair bit, and he's seen a lot like the fans. And I was just curious of what the player perspective would be like of all the change, because we as fans, we know, don't we? We've been through some real torrid times over recent years, and that's putting it lightly. So to see how things have changed over recent
What
times.
did he say? Yes, sound. Actually, he gave a bit more than that, didn't he?
Yeah, I just wanted to see how a player has viewed that, I suppose, and he basically just said, it's been a real breath of fresh air seeing how people are actually,
Yeah, he did.
getting on with each other, and
the positivity around the club he was on about as well.
Yeah, 'cause when
knowing where we're heading.
yeah, when the teams are just falling apart and you're getting results that are just going against you every week, it becomes a place that you just don't want to be.
Yeah,
and
and he
that's
was
not from a
saying-
fan perspective, that's even from players. And the confidence, it just oozes through the team. And on the flip side of that, when you can see it turn around and you've got owners who actually care, who are putting investment into
This
the
is what
club.
he was saying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly what he spoke about. He says it's a real breath of fresh air, and he feels the life in the club again. And it's the energy around the ground. It couldn't be better at the moment, is what he said to me, and that was wonderful.
What
to hear.
resonated with me from what he said was just knowing that we're going places, and with what these, the new owners have brought in is the positivity.
Put
just
a lot of
knowing that
emphasis
they mean
on
what
the
they
owners.
say.
He put a lot of emphasis
So
on the
that's
owners and what they were saying.
positive.
Yeah, it was nice. But anyway, back onto the pre-match with Mansfield.
So should we go through a lineup? What you think it'll be then for Saturday?
I think we've basically touched on the lineup. Allsop will stay in goalkeeper's place.
Yep.
Ethan Laird, who I didn't think would be thrown back into the deep end against Bolton, but he had a very good game. I'd start him, certainly. But that's nothing against Taylor Gardner-Hickman. I'd still bring him on, actually, in the latter half, and I'd still ease Laird into it, because Taylor Gardner-Hickman's an exceptional player, and I think we can rely on him now from what he's shown. Clara, Ben Davis at the back due to Bielik being out. But Ben Davis is letting people know that he's there,
Mm.
with the quality that he's showing. So he's popping the question in Chris Davis's mind. Not that I think he would replace Christian Bielik for one moment.
Yeah.
Alex Cochrane, of course. Pakenawata, of course. And then, yeah, I would go with, as I've said previously on this video, it's like I'm a broken record, Williamson, Stansfield, and Keshi Anderson, and bring on Yokoyama. And Alfie May up front.
No, I couldn't disagree with any of that. I think I agree if that's what I think we'll go with. Yeah, you could change Laird for Gardner Hickman, either or. Bring one on in the second half to mix it up, fresh legs, safety net the players. But apart from that, yeah,
Do you know
totally
what?
agree.
I think we've got it so good at the moment. Stick me in there as right back. I'll do a job. It'll be all right. The team's that good at the minute. I could do a job. Tell you what, I've got a cross on me. I have. Yeah, trust me.
Was it drawn on in pen?
Good, very good.
Predictions then?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm still beating you, by the way, just to let you know.
Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah, still beating you though. Yeah. Still just better than you in like every single way. I said last time that I thought that we were going to concede against Bolton, and we didn't. I'm going to go 2-1 again. Do you want scorers?
Yes.
I'm going to stick with Alfie May. I'm going to keep saying Alfie May until it happens. And I said it last time, and I thought he was going to do it. He came close, but not quite. And the referee blew for a foul, which it wasn't. Clara from a set piece. 2-1 Blues.
Sounds good. Right. Hold my tea. Here we go. I'm going 3-0 again. I'm going 3-0. May's going to get his goal. I think Stano will get a goal. And I'm going to go... I can't say Clara again now, can I? Because, yeah. Let's mix it up, because I tell you what, we all get forward, don't we? I'm going to go Laird, because I was so disappointed.
Laird had a
for
diving
him,
header that just went wide against Bolton. Yeah.
He's
Great
getting
cross
forward.
from Iwata.
He's hungry for it.
Yeah.
So, something different. Laird's going to get in on the action.
Okay. All right. I think that can conclude our video. Let us know your thoughts, Blues fans, in the comment section below, as always. And until next time, see you later. Take care.